This is just another guy talking about stuff, and today we're going to be talking about politics, specifically the 2020 presidential election. We're going to be making some predictions using the 538 interactive map tool. Neat little tool that allows you to basically just click on states and predict who is going to win that state, and then it gives you a little running tally. And obviously, the first one to 270 is the winner of the presidential election. So, with that being said, let's get started picking out some states. Let's start in the Northeast, where you're going to see a lot of support for Joe Biden, especially down the row here, the small states that you can't really click on. So, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. gets 3. Those are all going to be definite Joe Biden states, along with New York and Vermont. Where it gets a little bit more tricky in the Northeast is Maine. Now, Maine splits up their electoral college votes. You get 2 for the state, and then they have 2 districts where each gets 1. I think is the same thing that happened in 2016 is going to happen this time, where these are going to get split, but the state will go for the Democratic nominee, in this case Joe Biden. New Hampshire can be a little tricky sometimes. It does go Republican. It's probably not this time around, though, so we'll give that to Joe Biden. We'll leave Pennsylvania out of it for now because that's going to be a very close state, I think, again. That Donald Trump won very, very close margin last time. So let's leave that out for now, and we'll move down the East Coast. West Virginia, of course, is a very Republican state. Virginia now has been blue for a little bit, and I think it's going to continue that trend. The Carolinas, North Carolina is a pretty close state right now, but I think Donald Trump's still going to hang on to that with 15 electoral college votes. South Carolina, they're even saying South Carolina is a toss-up now, but I think Donald Trump still has enough votes in that area to pick up the win. And this is where it gets really tricky with Georgia and Florida, because very close races, and Democrats always get very hopeful about this area, especially Florida, because they have won Florida, in recent past. I just don't think it's going to happen again this time. I think Trump has a lot of Floridian support, and wherever voting is an issue, Republicans seem to have an advantage, and it seems that Georgia and Florida each are both states that have issues with voting. Very long wait lines, not a lot of polling places, making it very difficult to vote. Being from New York, I've never had an issue with voting. I don't think I've had to ever wait longer than maybe 15 minutes to vote. So you hear these stories where people are waiting for hours online, and it's disconcerting. So, like I said, whenever there's an issue with voting, it seems like the Republicans have an advantage there. So I think Donald Trump hangs on to this area. And then, of course, to the west of that is a big Republican stronghold. We can just easily click red on all of these, even these, and up. Might as well just go up here. Nebraska is another weird state that splits their votes. Donald Trump won all 5 last time. District 2, I believe, is the district that might go for Joe Biden, but we're going to leave that red for now. He won 2016. He swept the state, so let's keep that like that for now. This is the big area where it's going to come down to this area basically. There's a lot of electoral college votes here that Trump won last time that he's going to need to win again. Let's leave that alone for now. Iowa, they're saying Iowa's a toss-up now, but it's a pretty strong Republican state, so let's keep it for Donald Trump. Let's leave these blank for now. Let's move on to the West Coast, where we see Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, usually Republican states, and of course the West Coast is very liberal blue. So you got Oregon, California, and Washington. They're gonna go for blues, and then don't forget about the 45th and 50th state down here. 7 electoral college votes between them. Alaska gets 3. They usually go Republican. Hawaii is the opposite. They usually go Democrat. So, and that's not going to change. So we'll give those respective votes to them. Okay, so now we have Joe Biden at 182. Donald Trump is at 176. So pretty tight race with a lot of big states here we haven't clicked on yet. Let's focus on this area first. Could get a little interesting. Arizona's pretty close. New Mexico, I think, is close. Nevada, I think, is pretty close. Utah's probably going to go for Trump. Colorado's probably going to go for Biden. Nevada's a hard state to pick right now. That could go either way. Let's leave that blank for now. New Mexico, I think, is going to go blue. And then Arizona's going to go red. That's just a feeling that I have. I'm not sure if I can explain it. It's just, I think that's the trend I'm seeing. So that's how I'm going to pick those states. That leaves Nevada. That's a tough race to call. I think. I think Democrats can might overlook it, and Donald Trump might be able to squeeze in some votes to take off there. So let's click red there. Let's say Trump wins Nevada. So now we have a 196 to 199 advantage to Trump. It's getting super close. A lot of like I said, the big areas here. Texas. Let's leave Texas blank for now, because if the Democrats can take Texas, it's going to be a hard road for Republicans for a very long time. I think if Democrats can start winning Texas as a state, it has 38 electoral college votes. It's the second largest populous state in the country, next to California. California, of course, has 55, and that's not turning red anytime soon, I don't believe. So let's leave that blank for now. And we're gonna play with Texas and Florida after this one a little bit, but let's see what happens up here. Ohio, I think, is red. Indiana, I think, is red. Illinois, I think, is blue. All right, so now we got 228 to 216. Okay, these states up here were interesting last time, very close. 2 went for Trump. Minnesota went for Hillary Clinton. So let's keep Minnesota blue. I think Wisconsin is the tricky one. I think that's the one Trump can pull off the most. I don't think he pulls off Michigan. So let's call that blue. Pennsylvania is going to be another close one. Of course, Donald Trump won that by narrow margins in 2016. I don't think he can do it this time. I think that's going to go for Biden. So now you have Wisconsin and Texas. So if Trump can pull off Wisconsin and Texas, he wins the election. All right? If Biden wins Wisconsin, he wins the election. So this is that's why these states right here are going to, especially Wisconsin, it's going to be huge. Of course, if Trump can pull off Pennsylvania, that gives him a much easier path to victory. He doesn't even need Wisconsin at that point. He can win. He can win with that. Florida, let's have Florida in play. They have decent support there. They always seem to lose. Like I said, anytime it's hard for people to vote, it seems Republicans have the advantage. But if Joe Biden can pull off Florida, that's what you're looking at there, 281 to 257. So that's a win for Biden if he can pull off Florida. I don't think, even if Trump wins one of these states, then if Trump can win Wisconsin but loses Florida, he still loses the election. So Florida, of course, is a huge state for Joe Biden. If Joe Biden can pull off Florida, that really limits the Trump victory pathways. Obviously, this is all just speculation. It's based on what polling we can look at. So let's actually do that now. Let's go to the polling map. And as you see, even by the polls right now, because we're taking these leans into account, that's 109 electoral college votes that are just leaning. So without these swings, these close swing states, Biden has a solid victory. But again, Florida is leaning Biden, but Florida's always weird, so you take that out. Biden still has that, has 279. Take Nevada out, Biden has 273. So again, these states are huge. These leaning Biden states up here in the north. New Hampshire's a lean. New Hampshire changes. That's the 269. And watch this. What am I missing? Damn. So now we have a 269, 269. And this map is possible. It's a possible looking map. This isn't crazy world. This isn't too crazy to think about. This map could happen. And it's going to be interesting if it does. Of course, then we go to the tiebreaker rules, which get a little confusing with the House of Representatives voting for the president and the Senate voting for the vice president. And even in the House of Representatives, it's not one vote per person. It's the state delegation. And it's also the new people who were elected. So it's not even the people who are there currently. Of course, the House turns over every 2 years. So Democrats are hoping to pick up a lot of House seats again, like they did in 2018. But you never know, especially if you have a strong Trump turnout again. You could see a lot of Republicans picking up, possibly picking up House seats. Also, not to mention the Senate, which the Democrats are very hopeful to win. But like I said, if Trump has a strong turnout, they could keep the Senate, right? So that's my most interesting map, I think, the tie map, because it's a possibility. It's nothing too crazy. So let's reset the map again and look at the 2016 map. So there was Trump victory, of course, 306 to 232. There's Trump's wins in these states I said were important. Like I said, you flip these states, and that's a Joe Biden victory. I had these mixed up. That's not too important, is it? So Joe's looking to flip these states. I know Joe's looking to flip Pennsylvania. He's been working really hard there. So even if Trump wins Nevada, he can flip these states and still win. But of course, if Trump is able to pull off one of these, like Wisconsin's possible, that's a Trump victory. So this election is going to be a lot closer than I think people are giving credit for. There's a lot of people predicting Joe Biden's going to run away with it, just like they predicted Hillary Clinton's going to run away with it. I don't think people are as optimistic about that because of 2016. But when the numbers are telling you one thing, you have to kind of believe the numbers, right? But I think if you play around with the map a little bit and you look at some different scenarios and you look at where Trump was successful in 2016, and it's still a possibility that Trump can win this election. People counted him out last time. I wouldn't count him out this time. All right, just for fun, let's look at the 2012 actual map. It was obviously a huge win for Barack Obama against Mitt Romney, where he won Florida. You take away Florida, it's still a big win. Take away Ohio, it's still a win. Iowa, like I said, I think it's still a big Republican stronghold. Obama did well there in 2012, but they voted for Trump last time. I think they vote for Trump again. I think that's where Trump has his advantages, is where he won last time. Let's go back to the 2016 actual. So there's Trump states to lose basically, and that's going to be up to the voters in those states to see if Trump lost them or not. So okay, so that was our look at the map. All right, so now we're just going to go through each state pretty quickly and just my gut feeling, and we're going to see where it ends up. All right, instead of trying to play with scenarios, we're just going to go through state by state and see what happens. All right, so we're clicking. New Hampshire blue, Vermont blue, New York blue, Connecticut. Let's see already. Connecticut. It's easier if I click down here. These are all blue. This is like a no-brainer. Pennsylvania, I think, is Joe Biden is going to win. West Virginia, Trump. Virginia, Biden. These are red. These are all red in my mind. These are all red. These are all red. Michigan blue. Wisconsin blue. Illinois blue. Minnesota blue. Iowa red. 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 These are blue. Red. Blue. Red. Blue. Blue. Red. Blue. And we end up 278 to 260. So this is my gut feeling win. Joe Biden wins the Electoral College by 18 votes. So there you go. There's my ultimate prediction right there. That's what I'm going with. Put your money on that. So this has been just another guy talking about stuff. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all the YouTube things, and until next time, witty sign-off catchphrase.